Right, Shania, you ready?
Ready.
How are we kicking this off? Just looking at you with a blank face.
Yo, Spilly Billy. Check, Mike. What?
Oh, it's a strong start. No, let's not start like that.
You just carry on.
I can't now. I've got the ick of myself.
Welcome to Spill, the podcast we wish we'd had when we were growing up.
Some very candid conversations on life in your 20s and 30s, the ups and downs, and the messiest parts.
But essentially, we just chat pure shit.
So, welcome to the chaos.
Good morning.
Oh, I thought you were going to burst into song then.
No, I could have done good morning.
I like that one.
Good morning.
Where's that from?
Singing in the Rain.
Oh, theatre kid.
Oh, theatre kids on the production team.
We've got multiple theatre kids on the
so
production
many
team.
theatre kids.
So outnumbered.
You're not, because you're a secret theatre kid.
We've been through this. Don't like the stage. The mic life is fine for me in this environment.
Oh, live for it. Bring it closer.
Bring it closer. How was your weekend, sweetheart?
Do you know what? I had such an adult weekend. I decluttered, organised, cleaned.
You did need to do that.
I really did. But I don't know how to say this without sounding like a total prick. I was probably in itself means I'm going to sound like a total prick.
Yeah, let's just preface and say that you will be a prick.
For sure. I don't know how people cope without a cleaner.
Oh,
it is so hard doing every aspect of life yourself.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think that's what I miss most about married life.
Sharing responsibilities.
No, having a cleaner, being able to afford it. we had a cleaner.
Wait, hold on. Let's just backtrack for a second. The biggest thing you miss about married life.
No, all right, come on. It was for the pun. Jesus. But we used to pay for a cleaner once every other week. And she used to come and do the whole house for 2 hours.
It is the best money I've ever spent.
It is. And I think back in the day, back when we were 14, you'd think that a cleaner was a real luxury. Because
it is still a real luxury, I think.
I disagree.
Oh.
I disagree because I think that now, in our society, especially in our age group, we are just really disillusional about where we spend our money.
In what way?
So let's say, for instance, a cleaner in 2024, let's say that they cost £30 twice a month, right? So that's £60 a month.
What cleaning company this is?
Yeah, see, you live in London,
I'm
don't you?
I'm paying double that.
We used to pay her £40 a month, I think, for twice a month.
I think that lady's getting vastly underpaid, but let's quickly move on.
We used to give her big Christmas chunks. No, we did.
Okay, yeah, no, I
but
believe
she charged
you.
what she charges.
Yeah, fair.
But you think, right, okay, that's really expensive. Think how many girls our age pop a new outfit once a week or go and buy a matcha
I just spent 20 quid on matches.
Yeah.
So.
You go to a health shop, right, and you buy your vitamins. And you spend 40 quid on vitamins. You spend 40 quid on vitamins.
I see where you are going with this.
What I'm saying is, it is a luxury, but also if you work out where you spend your money, it could actually just be really beneficial.
Well, the biggest luxury is time, isn't it? And it frees up time by having a cleaner.
I lost the whole of Sunday and I didn't even get to the bathroom, which arguably is the longest part.
I also think they just do it so much better than I can.
That is the problem I've got. Relinquishing control in any aspect of my life is a hard graft for me, but I love cleaning. Really
My
love
cleaners
it.
are so great. There's 5 of them. They come in and they blitz it for an hour.
Okay, now that is peak luxury. What the fuck are you paying them?
A huge amount of money.
You have 5 cleaners.
No, it's what they. I said, can we? One of you's fine, and they're like, no, we just come as a team, and then they just divide and conquer and split it, and then in an hour the whole house is done, and a bit of the garden.
That's sick.
They're great.
My next investment is a gardener.
Yeah, no, I can't do that myself because I'm so scared that something under the leaves is just going to come and get me.
Yeah, no, I've really yesterday during my cleaning day, I put the black bin bag out the front of the door because I was like, I'll just do that in a bit. And then this morning when I went to come to the train station,
I was just going to give me the G's.
No, but there was some scratchy marks on the bin bag.
No. That could have been a fox. That's fine. Foxes are bigger. It's when they're small and unpredictable. There's a mouse.
No, I can't. Billy, I actually can't talk about it. I can't talk about rats and I can't talk about mice.
But there's one I've seen him, he's in the garden, and I screamed the other day.
Yeah, there's never any need for an animal to move that quickly from...
And unpredictably.
Yeah, not into
Anyway,
it.
we digress. So you cleaned your house this weekend.
Yeah, it's a really long way of saying I cleaned my house. No, but I did really enjoy it, and it made me feel I'm a very tidy mind kind of gal.
Yeah, no, that is really true. It definitely has an impact on your productivity, doesn't it?
Yeah, massively. But it just takes up so much time. Like, I didn't really have any downtime or chill time this weekend.
Do you guys want a stool? Do you want a stool? I just would feel bad sat on the floor. Well, theatre kids do love the floor, but...
Yeah.
You were in Hollyoaks.
You are? The way that you are saying you're not...
Hollyoaks is mega theatre kid.
No!
Oh no! You've killed my granddad!
I'm not an actor.
You are an actor. The problem with the big clear out is that the idea of it is so much better than the actual action of it. Like you get going, you open the wardrobe, you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to feel so good when I do this. And you take like 3 or 4 hangers out, and then it's midway when you can't see the fucking floor where you're like, why did I do this? Every time.
Yeah.
Count me out.
What did you do?
Well, I'm moving house, so I have started to do that, and but procrastination was peak this weekend. I think I spent 3 hours just wrapping candlestick holders.
I've never met anyone who procrastinates as much as you do.
It's bad. It is bad. Like, I don't know why I don't know why I do it. It's like constant self-sabotage.
It's actually also connected to being a perfectionist.
I think I'm just a lazy bitch when it comes to doing some jobs.
Yeah, fair.
But what did I do this weekend? I did have a big admin day for moving out stuff. And I decided that like I would just like a full refund on being an adult because I don't want to do it.
Yeah, long. It doesn't come with a receipt.
Admin is the pits. And you know, I love Geeta with my whole heart, but that woman has got lists on top of lists on top of lists. But have you done this? But have you done this? But have you done this? And it's stressing me out.
Yeah, but look at the difference between you and Geeta.
Oh, she's a queen and I'm a wreck.
She's got her life together.
Yeah.
Trace loves a list, actually.
Yeah. I was thinking about Tracy when you were talking about cleaning, because I remember when we were kids, one of the first like jobs I ever had was from your mum, and she paid me and Ali £5 each to clean the house.
That's jokes. I bet you thought you were well made up.
Running away with money. I think I was maybe like 8 or 9. She obviously just was like entertaining us for an afternoon. And she was like, come on then, girls, you can clean the house. I'll give you £5 each.
Fair. Instilling really strong work ethic.
She didn't ask you when you were there too.
Probably because you knew I did a
You
shit
and Jason
job.
were both there. I was like, what about them? She was like, there's no point.
That makes so much sense. I haven't always been this tidy or clean. Or
No, you haven't.
I was an absolute feral wreck when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, actually, that my mum also offered to pay... We're exposing Trace here, but not at all. She's just...
We love you, Trace.
Yeah, she's instilling work ethic to everybody who wants a bit of cash. But I'm pretty sure that she paid one of my friends with a haircut to clean my bedroom.
I thought you were going to say, paid one of my friends to be my friend.
Well, obviously not.
I was like, that is dark.
Actually, I'm not sure. Trace, if you ever paid a friend to be my friend, can you let me know? So my bedroom back in the day was absolutely disgusting. I actually reckon if we dug deep enough, she'd be able to find some pictures.
That picture that you posted this weekend had me screaming.
Oh, do you know what? I texted my dad saying, Dad, what the fuck did you feed me? And he wrote back, whatever you wanted. So I then replied, and there is the problem. Also, have you seen I have absolutely no tits whatsoever? Just got massive gut. And again, for the visual, for the video watchers, I'm going to show you. But for the visual listeners, just picture this. There's a girl. How old must I have been?
Probably what, 7? 7, 8 maybe?
And I've just got this gut, but absolutely no tits whatsoever. My dad just sent me it, and he wrote, "Pooey, how can I put this on the photo?" Okay.
I love her so much.
But like, how can the gut be that size with no tits?
You were a child. Yeah, hit puberty.
And I text
the
Jason.
camel picture's still my favourite.
Yeah, that's the best one. And I text Jason the photo saying, Dad just sent me this, and he put fucking hell. And then he wrote back. He said, listen, I've just found pictures of me in 2022 and I really let myself go. And I text back saying, that's me right now. And he wrote, listen, I'm only now realising that I'd let myself go in 2022. At least you're aware of it.
Jason was very funny on social media this weekend.
He was really funny. Where did he go for a roast dinner?
The George. It's actually around the corner from here.
He went to the George in London for a roast dinner and he put it on his close friends, a picture of the roast dinner, and he said, "What is this? Bring your own oven."
That chicken was anemic.
All of the food looks so shit. I will die on the hill also that you cannot beat a roast dinner out of your house unless A, it's somewhere just like Toby Carvery where you know what you're getting, or B, it's home cooked. There's no in between.
I think I've had a really good roast dinner out, but agreed, it is probably better at home.
100%. I just think it's a waste of time.
Oh, well, we really been around the houses this morning.
Good weekend. Weekend.
What's your spill of the week?
My spill of the week is I had a fish finger sandwich.
I saw.
And I think it could be up there with one of the most underrated things you could eat of all time.
I do actually really love a fish finger sandwich.
I had it. There's so many varieties of what you can do with a fish finger sandwich. You either have like bread, butter, fish fingers, or you can go all the way down the other end. And I have once made like a caper tartar sauce type Philadelphia cheese.
Yeah, Philadelphia cheese.
Yeah, so like Philadelphia cheese, capers, lemon zest.
Not just like a bit of mayo, mustard. No,
I did it with, or maybe I did it with Greek yogurt, I think, but like mixed all of that together, bit of mustard, capers, pepper, salt, lemon zest, lemon juice, and either Philadelphia or Greek yogurt, and put that on the bread, and then cheese, and then fish fingers, and then like lemon and olive oil dressed rocket.
Oh, wow.
Unreal.
What fish fingers did you use though? Because the M&S jumbo codfish fingers are elite.
Well, quite on brand for you to have M&S own brand, because I can only afford Sainsbury's own brand, and they were banging.
Well, just if it's just as delicious, who cares?
Yeah, they were the jumbo ones though. Do you know what else I love? My Nectar card. Have you got a Nectar card?
Oh my god,
it's free things.
It makes me so happy at the end. Oh, you've saved £5.
Yeah, it doesn't even. It just takes the cost down. Oh, money off, free things.
Yeah, it's great. I've banked like 20 quid on my Nectar card.
I do really love it. But Sainsbury's is my favourite supermarket at the moment.
We actually talked about this because Chris and Alex used to live near me, and the greatest Sainsbury's to ever exist is Manor Road, Richmond.
I don't think that's true.
No, you're wrong, because it is.
You just love Richmond so much.
All right, moving on.
What are you going to do when you move house and you can't talk about Richmond?
Be in mourning until I move back to Richmond.
Oh, God.
No, I'm joking.
What's your spill of the week, lady?
My spill of the week is that I made a little bit of progress in the gymnasium.
Way, get your guns out for the lads. Get your guns out for the lads.
Can we say guns on this podcast?
Yeah, guns like that.
Oh. I am an official gym bro now.
Was it an upper body progress or a...
No, it was on the what bike?
The what? The what? No, Jen, what's a what bike?
It's just called a what bike.
Okay.
So like you use, I don't think you power it. It's not like that one that you do
That's a cross trainer.
Yeah, that's really nasty. I don't really like that one. It's the one, it's normally next to it, where it still has like a bit of wind turbine to it, so you feel a bit like Beyonce on there.
Oh, right, okay.
Anyway, the first time I went on it, my friend forced me on, and it was horrendous, and I couldn't get my feet in the pedals, and it was just really embarrassing and awful, and my ass hurt I've never felt pain like it.
They are not made for a big back.
You'd actually think with extra padding on your butt would help, but I honestly think it makes it worse.
I can't put my ass on it.
I was honestly convinced I couldn't have children after I'd been on that bike. It was awful. And I was on it for like 5 minutes, and I thought, that's fine, he's gonna let me come off now. He goes, no, you're gonna get on here for 30 minutes. I had a full breakdown on the bike, shouted at him, told him horrible things about himself. I went, no one even fucking likes you. The awful person.
That's mature.
Yeah, very. And then anyway, on Saturday, I had a big juicy workout, got on the bike, didn't struggle as much as I had done before to get my feet in the pedal, because they just flip around. They're really hard to get your feet in.
You got to put a strap on and that.
Yeah. Anyway, if you've got weight around your middle, it's not so easy, sweetheart. And then I put Beyonce Coachella on YouTube and stuck my phone on the thing. And before I knew it, I was on 35 minutes. Easy breezy.
Whoa.
Had a great time.
Bills.
So that's progress.
You are so mega into the gym nowadays, aren't you?
I love it, yeah.
I love it as well because...
Didn't think I was ever going to get there, to be honest.
That's why I love it for you, because it's so much a part of who you are now.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think you ever used to go, really, did you?
No, well, I obviously was an athlete as a child, but
Right, yeah. Squash, was it?
plus many
Racket
other things.
sports, was it?
Did play rounders for England, only once. But yeah,
Is that true?
Under 16s. I wasn't very good at running, but I could hit it really far.
Yeah.
Once actually, my coach, Toxic. Excuse you.
I'm joking. Sorry, I slipped off there. But we're talking about racket sports. Get your dirty foot away from me.
I'm not even going to bother telling you this story.
No, go on. I am listening.
She made me like fake fall over in a rounders match. Coach? Yeah, this is actually just a school game. But she was like, throw yourself on the floor. I was like,
that's child abuse.
What do you mean? She was like, throw yourself on the floor. I was like, why? She's like, then you can get a runner, which means I would just hit the ball and then someone else would run round the rounders pitch. So I really dramatically threw myself on the floor, genuinely injured myself. But we did get another like 20 rounders because I would just, and then someone else would bosh it round. Because I was the only person left.
What a toxic PE teacher.
Yeah, she actually was very toxic. But if you're the only person left, you have to get around it every time. Otherwise you're out. Because you've got to get round back to the beginning to hit the ball again. And she was like, I'd already been around about 10 times and she could see I was dying. So she went, throw yourself off. Do you remember her?
No.
She was toxic. Do you think you're introverted?
I'm an introverted extrovert. On my terms, I'm extroverted.
Oh, it's always on your terms, isn't it?
I would do anything to go back to school, I think. Although, did I ever tell you what happened when we went to the funeral of our headmaster? No. And I met my old Spanish teacher. No. Oh, she did hate me, like, so bad. I was shit at Spanish, but she fucking hated me.
Hablo español.
So the time that I was at that school, we had a headmaster called Mr. Walmsley, and he was the reason the school was so incredible. He was just such a wonderful man. And unfortunately he died, and a lot of us, like all of our year, kind of went back for the funeral. And I hadn't seen my Spanish teacher since I was at school. And just, you know, when you find yourself in certain situations, during certain conversations, and you're like, fucking hell, how did I end up here? So we were outside the assembly hall and she was like, oh, Sasha, what are you doing now? And I sort of told her that I work within social media and I started a campaign. Oh, do you earn enough money doing that? Outright fucking barefaced asked me that. And I looked at her and I felt like saying, ¿Sí español? I said, yeah, and then told her to fuck off. And I turned around.
Some teachers are like not meant to teach.
No, 100%. Oh my God, so many of my teachers, like proven in court, were not meant to teach. Fucking hell.
He actually threw a tennis ball at my head once. When this is velocity.
Can I just say, when we're having these conversations, so much makes sense as to where the trauma stems from. Have I told you about when Trace picked up my GCSE results?
No.
Did you not know this story?
No.
Also, this actually flows so beautifully into our topic of today. But when we went to pick up my GCSE results, Trace went and asked if there'd been a mistake because she couldn't believe how good they were.
What did you get?
I got 4 A's.
Stunning.
But my GCSE results are a complete reflection of me, right? Because I got 4 A's and 5 D's. Like, I will... No, 4 A's, 5 C's. That's right. 1 D was in Spanish.
Wow.
But does that not completely make sense to me? Like, if I love it, I'll do well. If I don't, you just unfortunately don't have my attention.
The difference between Indian parents and English parents is so different here. I went home with my GCSE certificate and my dad was like, what happened to the rest? I got 5 A stars and 5 A's. He's like, what? Why are there no stars here? Oh.
Oh dear, so much makes sense.
Standards are high.
But today we want to talk about success and how that looks and how people perceive it differently. But I feel like having had this sort of random conversation about our school years.
Oh, we've teed up the backstory entirely.
Yeah, it's making a lot of sense.
Yeah. Honestly, being like, I actually think my parents are very liberal, like Indian parents, but like that is tough. That sets you up for like thinking success definitely looks
one way,
and that is like probably the most coined term in an Indian family is high flyer, and that is what they require all their children to be, high flyers.
I would have been such a shit Indian.
You're actually a pretty decent Indian. But
yeah, because I eat everything.
But that is, yeah, I feel like that was drilled into us from a very young age, and with like care and affection and love also around that. but it was very much like you will achieve. And I also think that was put on me more than maybe Annie and Ashwin, that like you need to be the high flyer, and success looks like being a doctor, lawyer, or a dentist, being married, having children, having a house, being like a quote unquote success is ticking every like traditional box.
But back in the day, all of those things were a lot easier to achieve because we didn't have all the external that we have now.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
And while like I do accept that is real, my version of success, I feel like actually is still really traditional. And I think that goes against so much of, not against, but like it's jarring compared to a lot of my life, which is very like non-trad in a way where
What's
like...
trad mean?
Traditional.
What's trad wife mean?
Traditional wife. It's just a shortened version of traditional, yeah.
Who knew?
Ping.
I thought it was a Mormon term, trad wife.
Well, I think that is under the context of like Mormonism, the like traditional wife looks a certain way, but like I guess it's movable.
Like, cooks the food, wipes the bum.
Sure, yeah.
Like they just do everything for the man, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
yeah. Maybe we shouldn't say that Mormons wipe asses.
No, I'm talking about trad wife. A traditional wife would wipe someone's bum and cook all their food, innit?
A child, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't think that we should just like tar all traditional wives as bum wipers.
No, as in the traditional setup of what a woman should be as a wife, isn't it? They should just do everything for the husband, isn't it? That's what they should do.
They're like dedicated to the home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shade, but like could never be me.
No, probably not. I don't think it could be me either.
So what does your version of success look like?
I think it still actually sticks to those like parameters of...
Really?
Yeah. Of like husband, kids, house, golden retriever.
But what I find so fucking mental about that is you don't focus on any of those things.
No.
You're like, oh, I'm just going on holiday.
Yeah, because like, that feels unachievable to me. So if this is actually has stemmed from me listening to that Rebel Wilson podcast.
How good?
Oh, it's quite wild how like our lives obviously look so different. Like she's a global superstar, and I'm like Billy from nowhere, but like.
Hey. Billy from Richmond.
Prefer it that way, TBH. But like what she says resonated so loudly that like what she thought was success is almost entirely what I think of success, and that's kind of because we've never had it or come close to it, and so it looks. You sort of prioritize this thing that you think you can't have, and that's what success is. And funny enough, when I was driving to see my friends at the weekend, we had this conversation talking about like what success looks like, and they were like, "But if it was flipped and like you had all of those things, would you think that was enough of a success, or would you want the other part of your life that's like?" is like a really fulfilling career and
grass
like
is greener theory,
experience rich. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what Rebel Wilson was saying, was that her life was so like big with experience in one instance, but like completely lacking in experience in like the kind of personal side of her life, that she put all of her like
eggs in the basket.
And really kind of thought that was what would make her whole.
For context, this is the Rebel Wilson and Stephen Bartlett podcast. I don't think it's a recent episode.
It's not actually.
It's old, but Rebel Wilson is so different to the Rebel Wilson that you've perhaps seen in mainstream media. She's really raw, really vulnerable, shares like such incredibly deep things that I have so much respect for. And I remember watching it thinking, fuck, you absolutely need to listen to this. Because I knew that you'd relate to so much about
it. It was so relatable, but I actually think it was like quite universally relatable in the way that she thought about herself. And it was like, yes, there's a big weight element to it, which obviously that's like the connection that I felt most to it. But a lot of it was just kind of like she pigeonholed herself, and like I've probably done a very similar thing where it's kind of safe in that space, right? Just to like not prioritize those things that feel far away from me, because actually this bit's going well. Why would I break free of that to possibly go into a realm where I could fail, and then that would cement that I wasn't a success?
Doesn't it feel like we were talking for an hour?
No.
All right. I read something today and I want to read it out. It's a little bit long, but it's just so profound. It's the word I think I'm looking for. And I wanted to read it on the podcast because I knew we were talking about this. And I just think it's one of the best things I've probably ever read. And I think everyone our age should hear it. And I know that a lot of our listeners are. So it's written by Sean Inhouse. Yeah, Sean Inhouse, I think. We'll link it in the show notes. But if you are okay with every outcome, you are free. And being okay with every outcome doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you care less. It just means that you are fully self-accepting regardless of what happens. It means that you've let go of your rigid attachment to things working out exactly as you think they should, and you've opened yourself up to all the possibilities life presents. This openness is flow. This openness is confidence. It's trust. It's resilience. It's an unshakable inner calmness that comes from knowing deep down that no matter how things unfold, you will be fine. There is nothing more liberating and powerful than this. Only when we accept failure the same way we accept success will we begin to experience true freedom. Only when we give ourselves full permission to make mistakes, mess up and fail will we begin to move freely. Only when we allow for all possible outcomes will we begin to move with ease. Only when we release our mind's illusion of knowing what's best for us will we begin to move with trust. Only when we stop letting an outcome dictate how we feel will we begin to move unburdened. Until then, we are prisoners to external circumstances that we have very little or no control over. Here is my secret. I don't mind what happens. How fucking sick.
God, that must be freeing to not mind what happens.
That is definitely the approach that I've had, or I'm striving for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know if you're there yet with...
Oh, 100% not there. Yeah. But that's my goal. So, whenever my brain goes to, fuck, this isn't where I was meant to be, this isn't how it's meant to look.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's okay, just trust, it'll be all right.
Who said this? I can't remember who it was. You know that film Hook?
Peter Pan?
Yeah.
Love that film.
And you know the crocodile swallows the clock?
Yeah.
It's like that. I think the time crunch of the TikTok on top of that that's also in my head. And that's so tied to success because I feel like I'm running out of time to be a success.
I think your life experiences do help your perspective of what success looks like, because I think for me, having gone through what I've gone through the last 2 years, I pretty much had what you're explaining success looks like, right? Mm. I owned a 4-bedroom house with a really lovely, wonderful man. We owned 2 dogs and we were married. So tick, 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 tick. And we were about to try for children. And then I would have had this perfect little family, and all of that was how I visualized it, right? But that actually isn't what it was. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
But that isn't what it was.
So what does success look like to you now?
I think, what I just read, that is success to me. I don't feel this need to have complete and utter control over how my life looks. I'm trying so hard to just control what I can control and let the rest just be. So did I tell you I had my bloods taken last week? Because I'm going to test my fertility levels. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll find out those in the next 7 days. And I'm 32, nearly 33. Rather than now looking at a 23-year-old who has what looked like the life I had, I'm finding women who are 35, 37, 42 who have just had their first child and are happier than ever. And I'm choosing to engage in that because that's more on my current wavelength of reality, rather than me beating myself up because it could have been this way that I'd thought my whole life would be, perfection.
That is quite a smart way to look at it, yeah.
I tell you, I am quite smart sometimes, just in a very different way.
I look at the same things that you look at and think, oh, well, that's just the exception to the rule.
No, dick. I think if you think about the time you spend thinking about it,
yeah,
you're better off just showing up, cracking on, living life.
I definitely, there's a big part of that where I'm I can't keep thinking about what my life looks like in 10 years. I've got to just focus on today, what today looks like.
Be in the present.
Yeah, because if I think about, like I said, if I think about how I want it to show up as successful and that I haven't achieved so far and ignore all the things that I have achieved, and I can reckon with like some of those are good things that I've achieved, then I'm like, I spiral so quickly because it's like, okay, well, I don't have this and I don't have that and I don't have all these like traditional success markers, and I'm like, oh, I quit because I feel like I failed. Whereas I am trying really hard to like reframe that and look at like the present and what my life looks like now, and and like the ways that it has improved and the ways that it has got better without thinking too far ahead. But like when your surroundings keep changing, as in like friends are moving out of London, friends are having kids, friends are getting married, friends are also getting divorced, like there's like big life changes that are happening in their lives. I think it's hard not to think of like, for me particularly, it's hard not to measure myself against them in that variant of success.
Oh, what a wonderful sentence. There's nothing introverted about you. You can't bear it.
Sometimes I'm shy.
No, but like you don't like being on your own, climbing walls.
No, I just get so bored. I'm like, what else can we do? But not this. Bye.
It's so wanky. But they do say comparison is the thief of joy, Bills. That's what they fucking say, isn't it?
When the thing is, we know it. I could stamp it on my fucking forehead. And yet, like, as much as you might know it, everyone's default setting is to do it. Yeah.
But what I mean by the life experience, isn't it? And it is not in a patronising way, but I think because I had so close to the perfection that I'd always wished for.
How do you wish for that, though?
Oh, my whole life, all I wanted was
I feel like you never said that out loud.
Happy little life. Well, there was two strands of success for me. One was that, and one was career success. Yeah, career success and home life success.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ, again, in the last 2 years, I have spent so many moments thinking, oh shit, like, what is my career? Am I good enough? Am I just like bin juice now? What? You know?
No.
Yeah, because it's hard, especially when you're self-employed as well. This industry as well, it's very saturated. You take your foot off the gas for 2 minutes and you're driving backwards, mate. Like, that's how it's definitely felt for me for the last 2 years. But in every moment that I've sat there and thought, fuck, what should I do? Should I go back to uni? Go back to, as if I ever went. Shall I go to uni? Shall I retrain? Shall I do something that's confirmed? I then just sit and think, actually, do you know what? Let's just stay in the present. I've worked really hard to get where I am now. It might not be where I thought I'd be, but if I just keep my head down and keep working towards what I want and focus on today, we'll deal with that in 5 years' time, or we'll deal with that when the time arises. Like, there are people in this world who have a baseline job and get paid a baseline salary and go on holiday once a year and save up for that holiday and have a wonderful Christmas and just have like such a mundane, normal life, and they're so fucking happy. And sometimes I look at our industry or like, you know, fame and the other end of it, and I think it's just a forever chase.
Well, I don't think you're going to ever be satisfied, are you?
Yeah. So like if in 5 years' time my whole career blows up and I'm just nobody, then maybe I'll give that life a go and we'll see how it works out. But we'll just deal with that in 5 years' time.
All I can hear in my head is that TikTok sound. I think I like this little life.
I hate that sound.
It's awful.
Because also that what's little about it is fucking hard work. I had to clean my own house.
It's all hard work. I had to go to the gym for progress. Sick of it.
It's all very, very fucking long.
Oh, it's never ending.
But yeah, basically, success is your perspective, isn't it?
What was interesting is like the grass is greener conversation came up, and then also sweet Sophie just said like the most obvious thing. She's like, isn't success just being happy?
Oh.
And I was like, fair fucks, Sophie, because that is like actually the crux of what it should be, and not this like perfect painting of a picture of something that doesn't exist. And like you said, even if it did, outwardly, like inwardly, it's full of cracks and holes and isn't this perfect painting.
However,
but being happy maybe feels actually more
But happiness is
unachievable.
transient.
Who are you today?
Sorry, it's the fucking matcha. Did you hear that word that just come out my mouth?
You followed up with that incredibly grammatically poor sentence. Yeah.
Happiness isn't always a state of like, I think success is contentment.
Okay, get that on a t-shirt.
Because content is at a level, right? So you can feel happiness. Like you can't feel the highs of happiness unless you feel the lows of sadness.
You also can't feel it all the time.
Yeah, like exactly. No one's happy all the time, even if they say they are, they're not.
I wonder if one person in the whole world is.
There's not.
No.
Refuse. Even Mo Gaudat, he's like, talks about happiness all the time. He's just not happy all the time. Yeah. There's just no way. Mo Gaudat, lovely practitioner, man. He's great.
Sometimes you know way more woo-woo things than I do.
It's called self-growth, sweetheart.
Yeah, we're not there yet, evidently. I'm still waiting for my 2.4 kids on my husband.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. No, that's what I would say success is to me now. It is contentment, like just being content with where I am.
Is that where you're at? Do you feel that?
Definitely working towards it. Like, I think one of the most, I guess, prominent things in my life at the moment where I can relate it to is DB he hasn't gone home for like the last 4 weeks, and we keep making a joke. I'm like, oh, do you live with me now? And he's like, yeah, I think so. And the old part of my brain and the old me is like, oh, no, you need to have been together for a certain amount of time. You've just bought this house on your own. Like, this needs to be your space for X amount of time, and all of these rules are in play as to why he shouldn't move in right now, right? But then the reality is that it's really fun. We're having a great time. We're working well together in the house. It's easier to live with someone, especially when you get on with them and like functioning as a household. And it's really enjoyable and I'm really happy with it. So like,
why would you push that away just for the sake of
Why would I push that away just for the sake of this rule book that I've made up my whole life that hasn't played out anyway? And I was thinking about it over the weekend. If it doesn't work out, what's going to happen? We'll just have a conversation and he'll move out. Or do you know what I mean? Like when you actually logically break down what might happen if, it really isn't that bad.
We have got actually a big ep coming later this season on what if.
Yeah. So
because there's a lot to say about that.
I would say, yeah, I am. Like right now, today, I am content that I'm going home and he'll be there and we'll probably make a really unfunny joke that no one else would laugh at, but we'll piss ourselves laughing and then lovely, we'll wake up the next morning and repeat.
But also I think this counts as contentment too. Like we didn't know what the podcast would have in store for us, and this is like gas to be here.
Oh, there's loads of areas of my life where I feel content, yeah.
I'm pleased for you.
Heading towards success. I tell you what makes me feel successful is that matcha, because it's done something to my vocabulary. So here's our top tip for everyone.
Get a matcha.
Just be content and get a matcha. And don't worry about your silly little school teachers.
Just bin the idea of success.
Should we do a Ask Us Anything?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a really fun question. And just to let everybody know, if you do want to ask Billie and I questions for the Spill podcast episodes, you can DM us either individually or on Instagram. Send your juicy questions, your advice questions, anything you want to chat shit with us about, we will answer them. But this question says, you only have 48 hours left on this earth. What would you do? Drop everything and go where? Eat what?
That is such a good question. Also, I really enjoyed your delivery of it.
Thank you. All I know is that I would eat myself until I die. I'd probably kill myself before the 48 hours because of what I'd eat.
But like, does the travel time count within the 48 hours? Because I'm just thinking, like, what if I was like, well, I want to go to LA and go to blah, blah, blah. Does that count as in the 48 hours?
Let's just say, yes, it does count.
Okay, fine. You know what? I don't need to go that far. I think I would round up everybody I know and I'd go to Ciao Bella in Bloomsbury and eat loads and loads of pasta and drink loads and loads of wine and then go out until we died.
Oh my God, the difference between our social battery is about to be explained.
Why? What's yours?
I would not get everyone I know. I'd put a Facebook status up. Love you all.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. I'd get the dogs.
Nah. Are you staying in?
Yeah, I'm staying in.
I'm not coming.
I'm staying in my house with these little doggies. I reckon I put a Disney movie on.
And my God. I would die with boredom.
No, wait, it gets juicier. I'd go on Just Eat, Uber Eats, Deliveroo, and I'd order from every single place. And then I'd go to a drug dealer and I'd just try cocaine for the first time and die. And I'd have alcohol as well and I'd be mental.
You're so pure.
Both those 48 hours describe us so perfectly.
So well. I'd be like,
I ain't
from the
fucking seeing
beginning.
no one.
oh, I want 300 people as my entourage.
No, like, think of how much time you're wasting in those 48 hours chatting to all those people.
I'm not talking to all of them. I'm only
About
talking to the
what
ones I
as
really
well? Like,
love.
oh, hard day. Oh, boo-hoo. No one fucking cares.
That's definitely not what I'm going to say.
Did you watch the tennis?
You're such a hater.
Oh, no, what about Nadal? Oh, no, 40 hours left and talk about Nadali. Oh dear, we do giggle.
You're not invited to my last 48
Good, I wouldn't be there
hours.
because I'd be at home sniffing cocaine.
Who would you like to play you in the movie of your life?
Oh, easy.
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Who would you want, Jake Gyllenhaal?
No.
Shut up. Let's bring the tone down.
Oh, we're getting serious now.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll do a serious question. That was such a good question, though.
Go on, then I've got one. I'm actually really excited about my last 48 hours on Earth. I'm in my 40s in London, single and with close friends moving out. How do you make friends now? I've got a good answer to this. And I think it's like a bit of a lost thing at the minute, or / it's something that's coming back. I think people need to get hobbies.
Yeah, 100%.
And that is how you're going to meet people. Like,
social media has really ripped that from us.
100%. If you think about our parents, they were all part of clubs. Like, there was like
I'm joking. Mine weren't.
What, your dad never went to... Your dad is part of the biggest football club.
I was making an innuendo that, like, back in the day, they were all part of clubs.
What's that thing?
In the club, we all fam. In the club.
It's like this, isn't it? Club.
That's a TikTok meme, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the club.
Anyway, we digress.
Sorry.
Those like clubs and societies have all sort of been forgotten. I mean, they're coming back with full force now. Everyone and their dog is on a run club, but
except me and you.
You can pay me to go to a run club.
Nowhere, babes.
But I do think that is a way to like branch out of your social sphere and meet new people.
The other thing about clubs, you're meeting like-minded people.
Yeah. Common interest already.
100%. And that is one thing that there's many a thing, but one thing I am so grateful for having had theatre.
You trash me. I didn't even talk about tennis, and you trash me so hard. And yet the amount of times you've said theatre in this episode.
There's more MT girlies and boysies and gaysies than there are.
You wait till we take this to the street.
All right,
and we'll find out.
Take you to the streets. But what I would say is that I'm so grateful for having had that my whole life, because it has been like literally a core pillar of me finding my people. And
and making new friends.
Yeah, I've grown up with people who are like me, and that is...
Jesus, scary thought.
And that's like a really lovely thing.
Yeah.
And loneliness is such a horrible feeling, but you're not going to feel anything other than that unless you get out in the real life.
I agree. And there's loads now. There's like...
in the real life.
There's like more book clubs now. There's like, I want to try pottery.
Yeah, me too. Where you
Shall
paint
we go?
It. Yeah, I think it'd be so good.
Well, let's not make it competitive. But
because I'll win.
You can do that. Obviously, I'm an advocate for paddle.
I did enjoy paddle.
It's actually very social. Did you know this about racket sports? I think I said it on the no need to self-regulate. Playing a racket sport extends your life by 7 years because it's so social.
Where did you get that stat from?
I read it somewhere.
TikTok?
No, genuinely read it. I think it was like
your diary.
Dear diary, today we're extending our life. Tick. Success.
Yeah, I think it's the same with dating as well, isn't it? Take the apps out. Let's boycott them all.
Let's just ditch our phones.
Let's just go out and
except
make
the ones
conversation.
that are letting you listen to this. Keep those.
Yeah, actually, no, don't ditch your phone because you won't download the episode. We really need that from you.
But go and make friends in new places.
Go and make friends, have conversation. Don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid of awkward conversation. Push through, and you never know.
It's also just good ammo for the group chats, isn't it? Like, lol, this just happened.
Again, our social battery's so different. Can't bear a group chat.
Okay, let's leave it there before we start fighting. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.